and also claimed gold 2 times in 2025 as well. Took home the gold in Tucson and in Red Rocks. So this player is on the rise. But can he beat Ben Johns? That's the question that will be answered right now in the semifinal match.
Point.
Ben Johns will open up the scoring first.
I love Hunter Johnson's journey here in the last few years. I remember meeting him in South Carolina a few years back at a different tournament, and his game has exploded. Man, my goodness, he's put in a lot of work. And he got a lucky shot there off the net for the side out, and hopefully he could give a good matchup with Ben Johns.
Yes, it did. Replay. Came over, hit the rail. Yes.
Well, it's a challengeable offense, and Hunter might have to burn his free challenge early.
Well, it counts as a replay, so he's not losing anything there. I don't know if he wants to challenge so early in the match. Ah!
What would you do? Yeah?
I would just
against Ben, I probably wouldn't. I mean, just kind of call it like he sees it for the most part. Let's take another look. Yep. Wise not to use his challenge.
Yes.
And there's a shifty play off the bounce from Hunter Johnson. He's dangerous from many areas of the court.
Yes, he is.
Makes him special. And before Hunter broke into the top 8, by the way, he was in the 40s seeding-wise last year to start. Ben Johns gave Hunter a ton of credit, said, I think Hunter is a guy that could easily be in the top 5. Ben's words at that time before Hunter had gotten those breaks in the draw and starting to get those big wins and the confidence required to be the top.
2-0. Side out.
Yeah, one of the most beautiful passing shots on the men's side. He makes it look so simple. And it's because he gets his footwork there early in place and is able to manipulate the ball very well.
Just bad for Hunter Johnson.
But we all know Ben will continue to come to the net and put pressure on his opponents. So he's not going to stop there. He's not going to sit at the baseline with Hunter and hit ground strokes all day like in tennis.
Point.
And Ben Johns, what he does is when he does come up to the net, he doesn't force anything. He doesn't try to attack the volleys. He is a high percentage player. If the ball drops,
3-0.
he accepts that and he plays a high percentage shot, maybe drops it back, doesn't force anything.
It's good. Johnson was on it. Lost it in the sun maybe for a second there and almost had the finishing touch. Wise play at the kitchen, spreading the field, forcing Ben to lob it.
4-0.
It's nice.
Side out.
Painting sidelines once again, Hunter Johnson. His passing shots, something he identifies as part of his top 3 strengths.
Oh, I would call it his top. #1, baby.
Yeah.
0-4.
Variety and power on his ground strokes, the other. And his serve would be #3. Nice.
Point.
Hunter Johnson curls it out of the air. He's on the board.
Beautiful grab there. He stood back from the non-volley zone line just to see if he'd go to the open court, but he steps in to grab that ball and hits a nice, beautiful roll.
1-4.
Sneaky.
Point.
And another for Hunter Johnson.
2-4. Point.
Little breeze coming onto the court on the side of Ben Johns. That gust
3-4.
helps sail that ball long there.
Oh,
Side out.
wide open, goes into the net. Side out. Ben Johns avoids the tie.
Ben Johns going to the same spot for the second time.
4-3.
Hunter going for the same shot the second time.
Side out. Three, 4. Point.
Hunter Johnson ties it up at 4.
4-4.
Oh, what a shot. Hunter Johnson goes around the post from out wide.
So crazy. The athleticism to get to that ball. The explosive movement. Just curls it right in.
5-4. Point.
I'm telling you, that's his number 1, his passing shots. But you can't deny that he's setting it up with his number 2, which is his big
6-4.
serve. Yep.
So much shape to it, too. Hunter Johnson
Point.
knocks home another. Running away with...
Players are fit and ready to go. But as we saw with the fan, in this Atlanta heat, you need to hydrate and need to be ready to go.
Let's get right back down to the action. Mish, take it away.
Camp Matt, thanks so much. And as the situation resolved, it was actually one of our Proton ball kids courtside that just buckled at the knees and fainted. He seems to be okay. We will
4-7.
hope that he continues that. Ben Johns just hit a winner, which earns a thumbs up from Hunter Johnson. But, oof.
Point.
And obviously, circumstances he cannot control, but Hunter Johnson had so much momentum going into that ahead of the break.
Right. That's never happened
5-7.
on any matchup before, so it's interesting. This is the first time we see the players respond to something like that here on tour.
Point.
And you're right. You know, he has so much momentum. How is that going to affect Hunter?
We'll see. Ben Johns now in a position to tie it. And of course, we hope our ball kid is okay. Good that his family was here with him to help monitor the situation. But Ben Johns loading up with a chance
6-7.
to tie it.
Point.
Yeah, just long on that return. You could tell Hunter Johnson needs to get back into the rhythm. He was doing so well on his passing shots before that incident
7-7.
on court.
What a scramble from Hunter Johnson. Was behind in the rally, found a way to close to the kitchen.
Not only did he pass Ben Johns, he moved him all the way back to the baseline where we know Ben Johns doesn't want to be at. So great work from Hunter
7-7.
Johnson finding it there.
Side out.
A little frustration coming from Hunter Johnson. The serve is so crucial.
7-7.
It has to be effective, so you have to go for it, but sometimes you're going to miss it.
Side out. Passing shot and a beauty for Hunter Johnson. And considering the wingspan of Ben Johns, he's got a long reach. Not an easy guy to pass. So great with his anticipation, too. What a play by
7-7.
Hunter Johnson.
Point.
Back on top by 1.
8-7.
Wide for
Side out.
Johnson. Sends it back to Johns.
At some point, I'm interested in seeing if Ben Johns is going to hit some drop volleys
7-8.
to entice Hunter Johnson to come in instead of playing at the baseline.
Ooh, great anticipation. Hunter Johnson engages in the cat and mouse and comes away with it.
There were some opportunities for Hunter to take the ball out of the air, but he opts to take it off the bounce where he has more control. Smart play.
Point.
Hunter Johnson back in control. 9-7, game one. Spot in the championship rounds on the line. Hunter Johnson looking for back-to-back slam titles in Atlanta. Too big.
Side out.
There's a look at the last play right on the line for Johnson.
Painting the lines here at the Lifetime facility.
7-9.
Wide again, Hunter Johnson perseveres.
Ben Johns was anticipating something to come back at the baseline. You could tell he was on his heels there. Wasn't expecting to move forward.
Heavy drive, game point, Johnson.
Game point. Ten-7.
Wow, mixing up his tempos. Hunter Johnson takes the first, 11-7 against all the elements today and unforeseen circumstances. Hunter Johnson remains unfazed, takes the first. We'll be right back. Game two coming up next in the semifinal thriller between Hunter Johnson looking for his first win again
at the non-volley zone.
Side out.
And Hunter Johnson, a little taste of what's happening with the gust of wind now behind his back.
0-0.
See how he is able to work with it.
Point.
Move from Ben Johns, so efficient. Read the angle off the paddle of Hunter Johnson, gave him extra step to get there.
1-0. Side out.
Strong ground strokes from Hunter Johnson. Definitely giving Ben Johns a hard time.
0-1. Point. 1-1.
Wow, again, right on the line for Hunter Johnson. Inside out off the backhand. Such a creative ability to pull it from his ankles. Such a shifty player, Hunter Johnson.
Side out.
Noticing Ben Johns just taking one giant step to the ball right now. I think he's warming up his footwork. He's going to start turning it on anytime.
Graceful move, Hunter Johnson glides to hit the corner.
I love when he's on the move and hits that passing shot. That's a tough task, and he makes it look so easy.
2-1.
The highest part of the net, too. Twice to the backhand, earns the pop-up closer. There's a look at the bench of Hunter Johnson, brother Yates, twin brother Yates, Paris Todd. James, their physio, who jumped to the rescue of the Proton ball kid as well in the moment. Just wide for Hunter.
That's the play that I'm looking for from Ben Johns right now, is just having Hunter Johnson come forward, come in away from the baseline where he's been doing such a great job passing on his ground strokes.
Point.
Fumbled return. Ben Johns loaded back up with a chance to tie it at 3.
2-3. Point. Three. Let. Three.
Wow.
Side out.
Unattainable. How do you adjust for your Ben Johns getting past the way that he is at the moment by Hunter?
Yeah, right now he's split stepping a little late. He needs to split step a little earlier as he's coming into the net, or get up to the net faster.
He does that time. Hunter's there. Punishes the overhead attempt.
Yeah, you could just tell the way he got up to the line. Ben Johns got up to the line there. He put a little bit more effort into it. Ben Johns conserves a lot of energy, like getting to the ball, getting to the line, getting prepared. He doesn't waste too much.
3-3.
You don't even see him celebrate. He doesn't do that.
Point.
And again, high percentage Ben Johns. He doesn't force anything. He just keeps the ball steady in play, makes you hit another shot.
4-3. Point.
A couple of missed returns for Hunter in this game, too. He'll call a timeout there as Ben Johns carves out a 2-point gap in game 2. We'll take a quick timeout with the boys on court. Ben Johns looking to hang on and force this thing to 3. We'll be out for 3 in the semis, mixed and men's doubles.
Oh, in the middle of the court, Ben Johns with his passing shot. I didn't know he had that in his toolbox.
Six, 3.
Nice spot again for Ben Johns. Off the bounce, attacks the corner.
Looks like after the timeout, Hunter Johnson's being forced to drop and slow things down, as he's been a little inconsistent on this end of the court in game 2.
Point.
Another enforced error for Hunter Johnson. Game 2 slipping away. And his chance of sweeping Johns for a match win slipping away as well. A free challenge timeout taken by Hunter Johnson for 45 more seconds.
And make the air. So a lot of pressure.
I've heard mixed reviews on preferences with that. Obviously, each player kind of has their own preference, but typically in singles,
8-3.
the response has been that players like having the wind
Okay.
at their back in singles, not in doubles. Not everybody. Nice. Hunter Johnson does a little jig with Ben Johns at the kitchen. Sides him out.
There's a consistency. There's the control that's very much needed from Hunter Johnson. And right back at it. Ben Johns
recovers, keeps Hunter Johnson to 3.
That reach from Ben Johns just takes it so far out in front and takes away time from his opponent on that volley.
8-3. Point.
Another missed return from Hunter.
9-3. Let. 9-3. Point.
Just wide, and those were shots he wasn't missing in the first. Game point, Ben Johns.
Game point. 10-3.
Ben Johns hits the winner with ease. As predicted, we're going to 3. Future. Scott Sarah, one of our great producers for Pickleball TV.
Point.
And Ben Johns claims the opening point here in game 3. So it's going to require another level from Hunter Johnson to beat Ben Johns. Love to know your thoughts after this point.
1-0.
Michelle, what would you like him to focus on? If you could give him a couple of things. That's
Side
deep
out.
for Ben Johns.
Yeah, just getting accustomed to the side ends on the
0-1.
switch. We'll see what happens there, but Ben Johns needs to make those returns, and Hunter Johnson needs to continue to go big when there's a weak return on the side that he's on right now. Find that confidence, get as many as he
1-1.
can on this end, and see what happens.
Side out. One. Point.
I love that from Ben Johns. He knows his passing shots aren't quite as great as Hunter Johnson, so he slows things down to give himself time to stay in the point.
2-1. Point.
Beautiful there. Hunter Johnson just quite didn't get up to the line in time. Ben Johnson didn't have to do too much. Very efficient.
3-1. Left. 3-1.
That's Hunter Johnson's game right there. Not feeding into the strategy of Ben Johns to slow it down, as he
1-3.
pointed out a moment ago.
Side out.
But it's a tough task to make 10 out of 10 passing shots, right? Especially when you have someone giving you all the pressure at the net.
3-1. Point.
Another one for Ben Johns, 2 points away from the end change.
This time, Ben Johns inviting Hunter Johnson up to the non-volley
4-1.
zone and say, let's do this at the non-volley zone line.
Crafty angle, Johns is there. Hunter goes back to the same corner. Back again, that time, finally out of reach. Hunter Johnson asking for the crowd's help.
Great patience from Hunter Johnson. Great patience. You can see there he's not forcing anything and plays the ball off the bounce. Very smart.
Side out.
It's one of the better returns from Ben Johns. That one well inside all the lines, but had a little slice behind it,
4-1.
keeping that ball low away from Hunter Johnson's strike zone.
Side out.
Handy rip from Hunter Johnson. Has some work to do heading into the end change on his side as well. And Johnson's magical run in Atlanta in 2024, he beat 4 former champions on his way to the final. Gabe Joseph, Tyson McGuffin, J.W. Johnson, and Connor Garnett in the final. There's one for Hunter. Ben Johns has beaten 15 different players in finals.
2-4.
Thanks to Jim Ramsey for all these great stats. Nice.
Point.
Now within a tying point, Hunter Johnson is back.
You could see Ben Johns' footwork isn't as explosive as we saw in game 2. Sometimes it's on and sometimes it's off. It's when he chooses, when he wants
3-4.
to shine.
Ooh, off the tape,
Point.
unlucky for Ben Johns. Johnson ties it at 4.
It's funny because there we saw better footwork, but then he got unlucky. Got to be careful against really good players. Can't let it slip away from you.
4-4. Side out.
That's one where I want to see Hunter Johnson slow things down. But when you see a short ball that you think is aggressive, you might do a little
4-4.
too much with that.
Point.
And Johns climbs ahead, 1 point away from the end change.
Five, 4.
Heavy rip.
Side out.
Hunter Johnson passes Ben Johns once again at the kitchen.
I love Hunter Johnson's footwork there and the way he gets down for that ball in order to find it right in the strike
4-5.
zone. Love that.
Side out.
Hunter's like, come on, I just one that goes in, just one.
He's got to be careful, though, with that self-talk. That's something
5-4.
that has very much improved, as Hunter has said, his mental resiliency. Can't feed into the frustration.
Timeout change
Ben
in,
Johns
6-4.
jumps ahead, 6-4 at the end change. And this one's only just beginning here in game number 3. Coming down to the wire in this men's singles semifinal thriller. We'll take a
Beautiful return, set him up well there.
4-6.
nice
Point.
backhand beauty once more from Hunter Johnson, corner to corner.
He set himself up so well there by that dipping shot that he hit to Ben's backhand. Beautiful shots like that. It's usually from the setup.
5-6.
So he's setting himself up. Keep going, Hunter.
Out of reach for Ben Johns. 6 apiece.
Again, he has this drip, a combination of a drop and drive that's setting himself for the second time that he uses his ground stroke as a passing shot.
6-6. Side out.
But watch out, Ben Johns. You could see his footwork is getting quicker. It's more efficient. His volley there definitely had more
6-6.
panache.
Point.
Just wide for Hunter Johnson. Premature cheer from his bench. Thought that one was good. It was the winning moment.
7-6.
too much time that time.
It's tough to go down the line on such a shallow dink. Got to be very, very good on that touch. Hunter Johnson just gives it a little too much.
Hunter Johnson recovers to the middle.
I love that he gave him the forehand to set himself up for the combo so he could get the forehand for the put away.
6-8. Point.
Heavy serve. It's a choked up return.
7-8. Side out.
Right back to Ben Johns.
Interesting, Ben Johnson didn't find a timeout because we're late in game 3 and, you know, the momentum's shifting. But Ben continues to play.
8-7. Point.
Forced. Out of reach for Hunter Johnson.
Timeout receiver, 9-7.
Johns needs 2 to take this just until February in Mesa, but prior to that was in Virginia Beach in October over Hunter Johnson. Wow, and that's a reaction we don't often see from Ben Johns. Lets out a roar. Match point. ATP.
He hit 3 shots over to the backhand side of Hunter Johnson to set himself for the opening on the forehand side.
Match point.
Big play from Mr. Johns.
10-7.
Ooh,
side out.
This is the serve.
Referee timeout. We have a challenge of the out call. The out call puts us at
And
quick
challenge from Ben Johns on the out call of Hunter Johnson.
Now or never.
Saves the match point. What's he made of here? Ben Johns covers the pass effortlessly. Carves out the angle on the volley. Side out, match point number 2 for Ben Johns.
10-7.
And Hunter Johnson bails himself out again.
That's like the 3rd time that Hunter Johnson's been on top of that play where he goes down the line to the forehand of Ben Johns, forces him to hit a forehand, and it's been successful. That's his play.
7-10.
He could get him there in that point.
Point.
No rush there this time on the last side out. He was a little rushed on his passing shot.
Had to get that one if you're Hunter Johnson, and he did. Can he get one more? Oof. Off the tape and out. Unlucky. Match point number 3 now for Ben Johns.
Match point. 10-8.
Backhand to the corner. Ben Johns gets it done in 3. 11-8 in game 3. Gets his 6th win over Hunter Johnson, who was right there to take it.
Yeah, Hunter had such great passing shots all throughout the match, but really the high percentage play from Ben Johns gave him this match, and he's moving on. Love to see him in another final.